Buenas and half a day to our listeners on Guam and in the CNMI. It's now time for Total Health right here on Joy FM Radio, where your questions get answered by health professionals. If you have any health-related questions, we would love to hear from you. Call your questions and comments in at 472-1111 or text or WhatsApp 686-9999. If you're in the CNMI, please call 323-1113. Welcome everybody to Total Health.
Well, here we are again with more of Total Health. I am very excited today because we have a very, very special guest. And even though that special guest comes from California, actually, originally, she comes all the way from New Zealand. I hope you're going to enjoy today the talk that we're going to have with Dr. Margarita Ngozi. Do I say that well? Ezwina? Yes, at least I'm trying. And Dr. Ngozi Ezwina is coming from New Zealand. Yay! Hello, Margarita. It is so awesome for me to be able to welcome you in our radio show. And I have been looking forward to have you here.
Oh, thank you, Elena. It's such a joy and a privilege to be here. And I want to say thank you also to all of the listeners out there because you're always having new people. And Elena is just such a joy to bring to you each time. So I am looking forward to being part of your community.
That's awesome. You are already a part of our community, and we're so excited to have you at the SDA clinic for helping our patients, to bringing a new fresh excitement into our work. And there is so much to learn from you. And even though I'm as a provider, I would benefit greatly from your help. I believe our listeners as well will be really enriched to know more about lifestyle medicine.
Thank you. I'm not sure if there's a lot to learn, but it's a fun journey, so I'm happy to share anything.
We don't know much about lifestyle medicine. When we hear that, people say, what is this? Is it like the way you live? Is it like exercises? What is lifestyle medicine? And it just sounds so odd to many people. It's just not a common term. I believe in 10 years, everybody would know what lifestyle medicine is. But what is lifestyle medicine, Dr. Ezwina?
That's a very good question. And I think it's true as well that hopefully in 10 years, lifestyle medicine will be the basis of all healthcare. Because lifestyle medicine is really taking the most important things, the first things first. A lot of it is prevention, and there's 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine. So there is nutrition and just nourishing this beautiful body that we are gifted with. And then there's exercise. And that is also the joy of exercising together, as well as the benefit that you get physically, emotionally, and spiritually from exercise. Then there's also avoidance of risky substances, which is really temperance. It's similar to our New Start program, where it's looking at not only self-control, but the freedom that comes with self-control as well. Then there is also sleep, and that's often an overlooked part of health and healthcare, but having restful and rejuvenating sleep is so important. Then we look at social connectedness, and that is quite broad. And I know you've just had a wonderful talk on the importance of communication and of connectedness. And our community, having you all together and all around us, is what gives a huge amount of not only joy, but strength to individuals. That also gives an opportunity for mindfulness. And when I think about mindfulness, I really think that that's the time in prayer where we listen more than talking. And I don't know about you, but I find it very easy to talk to God, go on and on without actually having space and giving the Lord space to speak. So that is mindfulness, and that is a big part where spirituality can come into medicine as well.
So, like from what you're telling me, it's actually everything that medicine is not. or everything that nowadays, our medicine does not address, because we address mainly the conditions and our patient with means that we can quickly fix whatever is wrong with them. And you're bringing like a completely new concept, something that's available, something that's free. and at the same time, you claim that you can help patients in this way of treating them.
Absolutely. It's completely free. It starts with us right here, right now, making choices really for true health. And yes, it can be. It can be the basis of all healthcare. And ideally, if we do it well, we can put ourselves out of a job.
That's true. The patients do not have to see us, if they keep all those pillars of health.
Yes.
So in order to become a little bit more clear, it is medicine, right? You are a physician and you are dealing with this type of medicine. It's not a complementary medicine. It's not an alternative medicine. It's just like the basic of medicine, I would say. And this is what we are going back to how it used to be once upon a time.
Yes. Lifestyle medicine stands firmly within the house of medicine. It's very evidence-based. There is very good and important studies which show the power of good nutrition, the power of sleep, the power of all of these interventions. So it's really clinical and really evidence-based, which means that there's lots of scientific proof around lifestyle medicine, not only to keep people healthy and prevention of disease, but reversal of chronic disease as well. So we're talking about some of my patients being able to reverse their diabetes to a point where they need far fewer medications, sometimes even no medications anymore at all. And also the same to be able to maintain and sometimes reverse autoimmune disorders. And even within cancer, there is huge power in lifestyle medicine and what can be done.
So you are trying to tell us, Dr. Ezwina, that we basically can treat every condition in almost every person with lifestyle medicine. Does that sound realistic?
I 100% agree. And even though it probably doesn't sound realistic in our world as it is at the moment, lifestyle medicine is the basis of all medicine. And to be a full scope lifestyle medicine practitioner, I don't just only treat people and never prescribe medications. So it's not negating the importance of medicine. Sometimes we do need medicine, sometimes we do need surgery, but it's highlighting how much we can do without.
Without it, right. And I think it will take generations until we get to that concept that when you come to the clinic, you don't have to necessarily be prescribed a medication. I prescribe to my patients physical exercises. They can also find those exercises for the conditions that you think you might suffer from or you have been diagnosed with at www.exercisesmedicine.com. In which you can see the breakdown of what exercises you can have to reverse different conditions like diabetes, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, high cholesterol, even Parkinson's disease, neurodegenerative conditions, autoimmune diseases, and the list goes on and on and on. Even you can find some, help if you have COVID, what type of exercises you can have during COVID. So patients look at me and they're like, I thought I came here for medication, but she is prescribing me exercise. I can, find that on internet myself. I don't need it. I need something right now to help me feel better. I am sure you see patients on a daily basis with lifestyle medicine. And I'm just curious, do they look at you that you're just trying not to address the problem, or they really looking forward to hear how we can help them without the first line medications?
Yes, I think that everybody is at a different point in their journey. And for me, the most important thing both in lifestyle medicine and in life, is first to listen. And so some patients come, and I might come to you, and I may have only eaten fast food for the last 6 months and really not have any ability. I might not have a refrigerator. I might be homeless. So if you start talking about things that have to be refrigerated and that I haven't even heard the names of these vegetables, then I'm not going to really understand. So if a patient comes to me, I love to listen and then meet them where they are. And if that means having 7 Big Macs and fries every week and just adding a salad once a day, then that is a win. And then once we talk about salads and we talk about the beauty of it, you feel the change. You feel the change in your body. You start to feel more energetic. You start to feel more alive. You often start to lose weight. And that in itself shows you the power of lifestyle medicine. And then bit by bit, you might start with a little bit of exercise. In fact, I've just recorded a series of video lectures for our New Start program. And that is exactly about that, about simple exercises that you can do at home, about simple ways to nourish your body with what you have as well.
I am so excited about that. I also specialize in preventive care. I am doing my doctorate, and I'm just so excited that this new field of lifestyle medicine is like booming, and more people are really interested to be treated with mangoes and papayas and, different fruits and vegetables instead of being prescribed over and over medication that just keep on increasing, in their doses, in their frequency. And it is amazing. It will become a really our way of treating, just like the Greeks used to do that. Like Hippocrates will say, let medicine be your food and the food will be your medicine.
Yes.
And we're going back to basics, just like our ancestors before, just like many generations before. Margarita, I'm very excited about that. I would like really to treat most of my patients that way. It is very difficult because we do have many barriers. That we are accustomed to different lifestyle, and you tell me what comments you hear from your patients. But sometimes the patients that come to our clinic, they tell me, "Oh, my relative said not to go to the clinic because in the clinic they will stop everything we love. They will stop our coffee. They will stop our, heavy meats and steaks. They will call them mistakes, and we just do not want to go. Where people, the doctors will stop everything that we like, and then will push us to do exercise and eat healthy." But Dr. Robinson, who was our director for many years, he said, "Don't worry, nothing else works." We will have patients that will be disappointed. They will go somewhere else. Medications will work for some time, but then nothing really works in a long term. What would you say to that?
Yes, I really appreciate and like what you also said, that you went to a website which is Exercise is Medicine, and it shows that all over the world this is becoming more and more common as the basis of what we talk about. So anywhere in the world now, if somebody has high blood pressure, we start with talking about decreasing salt, increasing exercise, decreasing stress, increasing vegetables, everywhere in the world. So just having that, the same with diabetes, the same with high cholesterol. So the fact that it is becoming the new norm means that our clinic here in Guam is a leader, is a world leader, but is really not alone. In fact, we started in 2015 with 3 countries actually asking about lifestyle medicine and how to develop lifestyle medicine groups in their countries. And now there are over 42 countries where there are physician groups of lifestyle medicine practitioners.
Wow.
And also within different specialties. So there is family medicine and internal medicine, but now we have many surgeons and gastroenterologists and cardiologists. The head of the American Association of Cardiologists is a very strong lifestyle medicine practitioner, and bariatric surgeons and people from all walks of life, because it is just so well proven to work. Now, I also think it's true that when we start saying, don't do this, don't do that, immediately we want those things even more. So one thing that we talk about a lot is not what I can't do or what you can't do, but it's really about what you can add. So rather than saying, okay, stop all steaks and stop all soda, I say, what is something that you enjoy, that you think nourishes your body? And it might be mango, it might be papaya, it might be, somebody told me today, it's like a spring roll. Is it lumpia?
Lumpia, yes.
Lumpia. And so what are the healthy things that you can put in to a lumpia to increase the vegetables? And then step by step, you find your way to new health and true health.
This is so awesome. I would really like to hear more about the way you treat the patient. And we are happy to adopt that approach, and we'll continue right after the break.
You can make the choice to give, or you can be impulsive. Each is a response that you can make. There may be some added benefits when you make giving a choice. It's not an afterthought. You make the choice long before you offer support. You decide that giving is important and not simply an emotional impulse. You really can make giving to this ministry a choice. We think it's a good one. You should know it's having an impact. You should also know listeners support us. Joy FM.
Si Diyos mo asi, and thanks for listening to Total Health on Joy FM. We want to hear from you. Call in with your health-related questions. Call 472-1111 for Guam. Or text or WhatsApp us at 686-9999. In the CNMI, the number to call is 323-1113. And now, back to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Total Health. It is me, Elena, Taneva, again, nurse practitioner from the SDA clinic. And we have the privilege to have Dr. Margarita Ezwina, all the way from Loma Linda, California, but she's originally from New Zealand. And we're talking about lifestyle medicine. Like lifestyle medicine, it is actually the approach or the trend that we are all type of specialties moving into, because we are realizing that this is the way to go. And we are seeing so many great benefits, and we're just going back to basics. The way we used to, been born in, and our ancestors used to live that way. And we are excited that we have a specialist actually in lifestyle medicine visiting our radio show. Hello again,
Hello.
Dr. Ezwina. It is exciting to know that people all around the world are looking more towards a different approach towards medicine. I think we kind of have exhausted our way of treating, bacteria, treating them with antibiotics, treating with medications. Pharmacies are working so strongly to bring more and more and more medications. And we know medications are wonderful. Some of them come with side effects. Most of them come with side effects. And we discover in a painful way, how the traditional medicine goes. Many times. Therefore, we are very big proponents to a new type of approach towards our lifestyle. You mentioned in the beginning nutrition. You mentioned sleep. And we know that nutrition is a big part, and we talk about nutrition quite often in our radio show. Could you tell us, how do you treat your patients with nutrition? Do you consult them yourself? Do you send them to a dietitian? Do you make their menu for the week? We're just curious.
That's a wonderful question. And I think the answer is yes, all of the above. Any way that we can continue to talk about the basis of what we nourish ourselves with, mind, body, and soul, that is important. So wherever people have access to a dietitian, that is golden. to be able to really have somebody who can step through day by day. I also love talking to my patients in my clinic myself about their own specific needs and their own specific barriers and what they bring, because I learn so much from my patients as well. And I've learned more on Guam as well. I found a melon that I'd never heard of before, and it was delicious. And I think that knowing where somebody is and starting their journey there, sometimes we have what we call an intensive therapeutic lifestyle change course. And we have 3 different ones at Loma Linda. So that is where you have a short time, normally 10 to 12 weeks of doing intensive. There is one where you go for several hours each evening and you really learn about things. You do your labs at the beginning, you do your labs at the end. What I actually have in our Loma Linda Family Medicine faculty group, we have a 3-month program where every week for the first 4 weeks you meet with your provider and you have time in the first visit of 40 minutes. You go through and you create your own individualized plan. You create a menu. You talk about whatever is the biggest goals that you have, the things that you want to change in your own life. And then you have that follow-up weekly. You also come to our teaching kitchen and learn about some of the ways to cook delicious, healthy ingredients. And you have access to, we say it, what we call it is exercise with an expert. So we have exercise physiologists and we have personal trainer and we have actually a group trainer who is also a provider. So then we have that opportunity. If somebody needs time with a nutritionist, we can refer also to our nutritionist. And we check in every day for the first week. And then after that, we send affirmations every day for the first week. And then after that, they have a way that they can contact the clinic with questions. We don't have a meal service. So it's phenomenal what you have here at the SDA clinic in Guam. So many wellness programs where you can actually get meals and it's sponsored by your insurance plan. And a lot of what we do is really dependent on what can be supported by insurance so that it's not the patient having to pay.
I know, you're right. We're very blessed here in our SDA clinic. We have so many programs. Insurance have been really understanding and, supporting for our patients, because this is the way to go, by preventing diseases, by reversing diseases. Then instead of like staying in the diseases, supporting through the disease. What would you say? I'm very pleased that we have great menus. We have prepared foods that we can hand to our patients. And for most of the insurance, they're free of charge. We also have some vouchers that we can give to you if your insurance does not cover those programs. And please take advantage of them. I sign myself for all of them. I really enjoy the food. Of course, it just gets me out of my comfort zone once in a while to do that. But the benefits are so amazing. What do you see like in your patients? Do you constantly see patients improving by changing their lifestyle? Or do you have some hiccups on the way?
We always have hiccups, because it is a part of life and we learn so much more from the times that we have something which doesn't go the way we plan, that, I call it that you either have a success or you have an opportunity. And it's a learning opportunity, no failure, because this is just such a beautiful journey. We're gifted with breath every day. We're gifted with this beautiful body that each one of you has. And the learning opportunities are huge. At the same time, we see miraculous results. There have been very few people who have not been blown away by the change. At the beginning of the program, we check the HbA1c, so we check sugar levels, we check how your liver is and how your kidneys are and how your cholesterol is. And then at 6 weeks and at the end of the program, the same. We also do fasting insulin. And there is nobody who has not seen a dramatic change in their labs. We've actually had a few people where I was like, oh, I don't know, you're actually pretty healthy already. I don't know if you can improve too much. And to my astonishment, they really did change as well. Even their labs got better. And then, of course, there's weight loss. And you are all beautiful at the weight that you are at. And if you are healthy, that is really what matters the most to me. But we do see dramatic weight loss through this program as well.
I'm very pleased when patients implement even one change and then the results are so much better. I feel like a great, provider when my patients are benefiting, but they're actually not benefiting because of what I have done, but because of what they have done. And it is very important to have the ball into their hands, that they feel in control with their health, not relying on us to control their health, with medications.
Yes, that is so true. I think that each one of us is the head of our own healthcare team. So you right now, you are the person in control of your own health. You are the person who decides what passes your lips, and you are the person who decides how you are going to honor your own body, mind, and soul. That being said, there are so many things that influence our relationship with food. And I talk about mindful eating in one of the modules. And I'm very aware that it's not just, everybody, you should just go and eat healthily. Because a lot of us have food addiction. We are covering up past trauma with eating. We have stopped smoking, and so we are eating. We might have stopped drinking, and so we are eating. Also, food is social, so we feel like we might be losing out in some way. So addressing food addiction and addressing the psychosocial part, so what food means to me, and changing it from something that just is there to give you a dopamine hit to something that is there to nourish your body, mind, body, and soul for the rest of your life, that is probably the most important component.
So actually addressing addiction is a very big part of lifestyle medicine. And also any substances that can be detrimental to our health are addressed in lifestyle medicine, right? It's not like, okay, you can smoke, but please take this medication because you have a high blood pressure after smoking, and the medication will help you with that. Actually, we are addressing smoking, we are addressing what else? Alcohol addictions.
Yes, and even deeper than that, I like to think that we are addressing why.
Why we're doing that.
Why is it that I feel that I need to smoke to relax? Why is it that I feel that I need to have a chocolate bar or chips in order to feel good? Why is it that I am wanting to be healthy but not looking after my body? Because there is a disconnect. Each one of you has the power and we all know since we're in kindergarten to eat the rainbow and to have veggies. There's nobody who doesn't know how veggies can help. But yet, knowing how and knowing why we act as we do, and ultimately knowing that we have somebody who loves us so immensely and who is ready to give us such joy, that is a huge source of stability and power from which lifestyle medicine really springs.
That's interesting. So lifestyle medicine is not only addressing the physical needs, but also the psychosocial aspect and addressing really the emotional aspect behind it. So it's kind of a lifestyle medicine. It's like a holistic approach towards medicine.
Mind, body, and spirit.
Addressing all the needs of the patient. Fantastic. And by addressing the emotions, we also we talk much about the mind-gut connection and how the microbiome gets affected mentally, and also because of our emotions, the foods that we're eating are affecting our microbiome. And this is something that has been studied for some years, but it's not fully understood. I'm impressed that there is, a discipline in medicine that it is studying that.
Yes, the microbiome and the gut health is so poorly understood. It's just starting. But we often think of, how we talk about, I feel butterflies in my stomach. And so really your stomach is your emotional center in a lot of ways. And it is also like a brain to us, in that so much of the ins and outs of what nourishes our body or what does not starts with our gut. And what you eat also really impacts your brain. We've been able to find a lot of changes in slowing down of Alzheimer and slowing down of vascular dementia because of changes in lifestyle.
Oh, wow. So even neurodegenerative conditions that we would think that there is no cure or nothing can be done about it. It is so awesome. I believe in lifestyle medicine. I firmly would like to practice it for the rest of my life. We will continue more with Dr. Ezwina right after the break.
Every time you turn it on, it's like sipping lemonade on a lazy August afternoon. With just the right amount of breeze, butterflies, and clouds shaped like soft-serve ice cream. Warm, welcoming, comfortable. This is Joy FM. This is home. And with your help, we'd like to keep it that way. We'd appreciate your prayerful and financial support when you visit our website, joyfmradio.net.
Si Diyos mo asi, and thanks for listening to Total Health on Joy FM. We want to hear from you. Call in with your health-related questions. Call 472-1111 for Guam. Or text or WhatsApp us at 686-9999. In the CNMI, the number to call is 323-1113. And now, back to the show.
Well, hello again. This is our third session today, and we're having a wonderful chat with Dr. Ezwina. That she comes all the way from California. She's a lifestyle specialist, and I'm learning a lot from her, even though I am in the beginning of my career, specializing in lifestyle medicine. Dr. Ezwina, you mentioned something about learning kitchens.
Yes, teaching kitchens.
Teaching kitchens. We kind of want to know more about it. I'm sure in Guam we would enjoy if there is a teaching kitchen, if somebody can prepare our food, the food the way we like it, and at the same time be healthy. How do those kitchens, teach the patients?
Such an amazing concept. So a teaching kitchen is really just allowing us to get together and to learn how to cook delicious things that also nourish ourselves. So I am learning as well. You say you're learning, I'm learning too. And there are many hospitals and institutions now that have teaching kitchens throughout the United States and beyond. And I believe there is a teaching kitchen being set up here at the University of Guam.
Oh, wow.
Actually. And it allows us to cook healthy things. It also allows us to cook unhealthy things if we want to. But the idea is to really learn how to make healthy things not only nutritious but delicious. So at Loma Linda we have a chef who can talk us through how to prepare a simple, healthy meal with a few ingredients. And it is so much fun because that is often what the missing link is. That we know we need to eat more vegetables, but we get sick of chopping up romaine lettuce
It
every
takes time.
day. Yes.
It's time consuming.
And after having the same salad for 18 days, you might want to change. So teaching kitchens in that way are great. And it's phenomenal because more and more doctors are becoming chefs in order to be able to really...
You're talking doctors becoming chefs or chefs that are good becoming doctors? Like how does that work? I don't think anybody expects me to be able to prepare a meal. I
think it's true. And number one, I think it's fun. And number two, I think it's really effective. As we are, in a way, an example of what can be possible. So the way we act as healthcare providers is really, really important as well. And so me learning how to prepare healthy food and how to share that knowledge with other people is as important for my patients to see me doing that as it is for them to be learning at the same time. So I'm loving learning, and it is quite different. They call it molecular gastronomy. So the whole meal is a whole experience, and you get to be together, and it's fun. There's always joking, and there is tasting, and there are mistakes, and there is mess, and it's just a great evening.
Wow, I believe if we open teaching clinics, teaching kitchen clinics, we'll have more patients that will just come and enjoy the time sitting together and eating all those, greens, beautiful fruits and vegetables and learning about them. The first time I heard about that concept was when I was in Hawaii, and I met a team of medical missionaries, doctors that go to all the Pacific Islands, and they prescribe papayas or, a salad from Belimbi, the pickled fruit, or like mangoes, breadfruit. Breadfruit is amazing, has omega-3. There's just so many amazing fruits and vegetables and how you can combine them for the desired effect of different conditions. And I've found myself being so fascinated that I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
I love it, love it, love it, love it. And there is so much ancient wisdom. And I think that if we look, I had the privilege of being invited to a Chamorro family's house, and just all the ways that the coconut is used, and medicinally as well as for nutrition. And the same with breadfruit, the same with noni. We call it noni you call it noni as well?
Noni,
yes.
yes.
Yeah, so all of these things, somehow they're being forgotten with the mass-produced over-processed food. But the beauty of the traditional really comes through as well, what our grandmothers and our grandmothers' grandmothers teach us.
I was very nicely surprised when I heard that the Chamorro sailors would travel from an island to an island, all the Micronesians as well and the Polynesians, and they would never live without noni. They just knew that noni has everything. If you're vomiting, noni. If you are constipated, noni. If you have diarrhea, noni.
Wow.
If you have cold, noni. And so they would just go nowhere without that. And they found the power of that medicinal fruit being so good that that's all that they needed to have it on in their canoe, and that they would sail there for months, and they would just have plenty of the noni. Noni is a fruit that nowadays everybody avoids, but they found it extremely important.
Wow, you've just taught me something.
All right,
phenomenal.
I even have, can make a shampoo out of noni, that it is so good. You can treat parasites. You can even treat HIV and malaria with some of those medicinal fruits and vegetables that we have on the island. I think you're right. You're giving us an idea. We need to open those kitchens, and we would like to not teach others, but also learn ourselves first.
Yes, and you have a lot, though, to teach. I think there are unique things here on the island, and there's a lot of wisdom as well. So there's a lot of learning that we can do, and a lot of teaching that we can do.
A lot of teaching. You mentioned about coconut. I started prescribing coconut water to my patients that come with urinary tract infections. There is so much science behind, even especially the the orange coconut color that has a lot of keratin. If you drink fresh juice from it, you don't have to take an antibiotic. Of course, there are exceptions and there are different cases, but when it's a borderline UTI, not as much bacteria in the urine found, I prescribe them coconut water, and I tell them, if you don't get better within 1 or 2 days, give me a call. I'll give you antibiotics. I haven't heard back.
Wow.
Treating with coconut water, and this is all available. Sometimes we leave those coconuts to die in the ground when we can take benefit from it.
Yes, I think it's really true. And also the concept of catching something before it becomes a true infection. So being tuned in with your body so that you know when you just have that first irritation before it becomes a UTI, and then knowing what to do about it as well. And I would love to hear from all of you, because I am sure that many of you are thinking, oh, yeah, my grandmother did that. Oh, yeah, my grandfather used to take this or that. And so there is a lot of that beautiful natural wisdom on the resources right here on the island. Coconut water as well. I heard about how it was used as an IV fluid during the war, and also how it has some, as you say, antibiotic properties. So I don't know the research specifically on that myself, but I think it's so, so important to look at and to appreciate what we have around us, definitely.
Right. And, initially when I was telling my patients to eat berries, one of our internal medicine physicians said, where are they going to find berries? There are no berries in Guam. And I decided to search the island and find berries. And there are more berries than I, was ready really to study. There are those gooseberries that they grow here plenty. Maybe somebody would feel them. They're very sour. But actually, you can even make a salad out of the leaves from those gooseberries. They're very sour, very rich in vitamin C, very good for your skin, very good even for hemorrhoids. There's so many practical ways you can use them. Now we have the manzanita, a very small cherry. It is extremely good for gout. It is prescribed even for MRSA infections, for VRE infections, like very serious infections. And if you eat 9 of them a day, within 2 days, your gout is not gonna be as bothersome. So we're not giving recipes here because, of course, every case is different, but we are discovering and uncovering the truth of treating conditions with those amazing, assets, resources that God has given us on the island. Then berries. The papaya is the biggest berry. I didn't know that papaya is a berry. It's like a huge berry, and you have everything that you can wish for. Even the seeds are antiparasitic, and they have so many properties, especially for gout, that it's like very prominent on the island. We are in a process of rediscovering those great truths that our ancestors have known, and just implement them and learn them and enjoy them.
Yes, that's so, so true. And it's lovely because I'm sitting here learning and enjoying right now. I also think that even if you don't know a lot about each fruit or each berry and each vegetable, that just starting to add some veggies. Pick something that you like, even if it is only cucumber, even if it is only carrots, and add that in. And that makes a difference. Eventually, you want to get to 75% of everything that you are eating being
Plant-based.
Exactly. Vegetables with some fruit as well. And then you've still got 25%. And as I say, I never say never. So there is not anything that you cannot eat. But if you nourish yourself with good food, and then anything else is an exception, that is something that is a treat, then you are really going to find that true health. And how phenomenal to be here and to have all these resources literally at your doorstep.
I know. And if you come with me today to the Chamorro village, you will see so many, places that people actually grow their own food. And it's organic. It's real. It's, not full of pesticides. It is like the food that God has really given us. And you can find it right here on the island. I really enjoy the local grown food. And I believe in the principle of eating the food as it is grown, the closest that it is grown, to its original source, not being processed, being the best one. And in Guam, we do have that variety.
It's so true. And you know what? It's taking your power back as well. Because we often think, oh, yes, it's my decision that I want to eat out tonight. But do you know that usually just between work and home, we're exposed to over 300 advertisements. And of those, think about which colours make you hungry.
Oh, never thought about it.
Yeah. So, interestingly, the colours which make us hungry are red, yellow, and white. And now think about fast food establishments. And I'm not going to mention any by name, but think about the ones that use red, yellow, and white in their advertising. There are billions of dollars that go into marketing every year in order to influence your psychology. And so they know that when you see these colors, you start to think, I'm actually hungry. Let me just pull into that drive-through. Whereas if you do go to, exactly as Elena was saying, that you go to a farmer's market, you choose the fresh produce, you eat organic, you support local, then not only are you doing something good for your body, you're doing something good for your community and something good for your planet. And you are taking the power back and making your own independent choice.
Wow, I never thought that just one choice can make such a difference. Yeah, and actually lifestyle medicine is like one choice at a time. Because as you said, we don't stop anything. We don't tell you, we don't, label you, oh, you shouldn't do that. You just make your choice. Every time when you can choose between two meals, you kind of go and choose a healthier option. You add a healthier option until it becomes so, pertinent to you that you actually can't live without it.
Yes, that's so true. And I mean, I am a perfect example. I think we all are perfect examples of what is real. I am not perfect. My reality is I have 4 children, and sometimes I really think, okay, what is the fastest thing I can do here? And it may be that now I mainly have healthy things in the cupboard, and so I do the best with the healthy things. But I'm a mum like everybody else, and I work full time as well, and life gets in the way. And so I don't want you to go away from this thinking that you have to be perfect and only eat vegetables and, sit in a cave and be perfect in every single way. Because integrating it into real life and working on the areas that are challenging, that's the fun of it, that's the beauty of it, and that's also the power of it, taking it day by day. And exactly as you were saying, actually improving step by step. This is our whole life that we're talking about. And it's really a gift, and each breath is a gift. So each choice that we have is just the next right thing.
Wonderful. I believe that, and I believe in growing into that direction myself. Well, we will continue with more about lifestyle medicine right after the break.
There's life to be lived. We hope you're living it. There's hope to be shared. We hope you're sharing it. There's a message to hear. We hope you're listening. We believe in the better day to come, the hope that burns brilliant in the fuel of good news, and a message that brings life and hope to your new day. It's yours. It's here. And people like you have been making it possible for a long time. We walk with you. You can walk with us. Listener supported. Joy FM.
Si Diyos mo asi, and thanks for listening to Total Health on Joy FM. We want to hear from you. Call in with your health-related questions. Call 472-1111 for Guam. Or text or WhatsApp us at 686-9999. In the CNMI, the number to call is 323-1113. And now, back to the show.
we're into our last session. We have like 10 minutes more to the show. And within those 10 minutes, Margarita, I would like you to give us more tips how we can really implement lifestyle medicine into our health. So exercise is a big one, and I'm so excited that you're very humble, but you're a great athlete and you are inspired by the same sports I'm inspired, like surfing, like kite surfing, diving, even skydiving. And I know that exercise plays a huge role in, staying healthy.
Yes. And exercise is so much fun. So I wouldn't think of exercise as something that you have to do, but something that you get to do. And just think about something that you really enjoy and go and do it, something that moves your body. So it's really just movement, and our bodies are made to move. And if that is walking down to Chamorro Village with a friend in the evening, then just walk instead of taking the car. Or if it is splashing around with your kids, then do that and really enjoy it. And if it is maybe walking to work, even if it's once or twice a week, then do that. Or if it is taking the stairs rather than an elevator, then do that. Or if it is cycling, going on a bicycle. Yes, there's all sorts of amazing and extreme sports. So if that is what you want to do, then do that as well. And there's phenomenal hikes all over the island. But the biggest thing is making it something that's meaningful for you and making it something that's fun for you. And then the second thing is building a habit, because if you can do it consistently for 3 days, you start to build a habit. And after 6 weeks, it is easier to continue to do it than not to. So that how could you say, that growth that you have in just disciplining yourself. For me, it might be, so just getting up and putting on my running shoes. And that habit, I don't always have to run. Some days I might say, okay, I just really feel like walking. Or some days it's say, okay, I've got my running shoes on and I'm going to, do you call it mow the lawns? Cut the grass here, you call it, right? I'm going to cut the grass. It doesn't always need to be a huge effort, but I celebrate that little win of getting up and putting on my running shoes and getting out there. And you know what? It makes you feel so much better for the whole day.
I know. Sometimes I put them, especially when the rain comes, because this is when it is not as hot and I can run and feel really great.
And you're great because you guys are very lucky to have Elena as your radio host, because she is so positive. You know how we love to complain about the weather, and it's true. It's actually quite a bonding experience to complain about the weather. I live in Southern California where it's really hot. Right now it's in the 40s, the 40 degrees Celsius, but it's really dry as well. So if we want to complain about the weather, some of my patients, then it's always too hot. And then in the evening, because it's so dry, the temperature plummets. So then it's too cold. And then when it does rain, which doesn't happen very often, then it's way too slippery. But when it doesn't rain, then it's too dry. So there is always a reason not to get out and exercise. Now, we're talking about exercise in nature, and that's actually for two reasons as well, because the exercise is beneficial, but also getting out and being in nature. So I want to also give a shout out to all our people who are differently abled. And if you are in a wheelchair, or if you have the use of your lower limbs and not your upper limbs, there are so many ways that you can love your body and you can really find ways to move and to enjoy movement. At the same time, even if you cannot move anything, just being outside and being in nature is healing in itself. There's even something, there's forest bathing, a Japanese tradition of forest bathing, you may know, but there is great research that being at the beach or being in an area where you are surrounded by green, like Guam maybe, is in itself healing if you, and this is the catch, if you are aware of it. And we spend so much of our lives just going from one thing to another and not being aware. So that ability to just slow down and take note and notice the flowers or notice the grass or notice those tiny little grey butterflies that are in the grass. I learn a lot actually from my little kids, either my own kids or my patients, because my 3-year-old will spend several minutes at each crack in the pavement watching ants, watching little caterpillars. And sometimes it takes a long time to get where we're planning to go, but at other times it's so amazing just to wonder at this beautiful world that we're allowed to be a part of. So not only being in nature and moving in nature, but just acknowledging all of this beauty around us is great for your health.
Contemplating and meditating on it. We have few more minutes, and so I can't skip, the one of the most important pillars, and that's sleep. And I know we can talk more about sleep, how important it is. A patient looks at me in a very strange way when I prescribe them 7 hours of sleep. Do you get that reaction too?
So I start with looking at sleep and thinking, okay, where is sleep nourishing you and where is it not nourishing you? And look at the quality of sleep. Some people have sleep apnea. Maybe if somebody nearby, even in the same house, tells you that you snore, then maybe you're not getting good quality sleep because you have sleep apnea. So one thing is looking at, okay, is there a medical condition which is impacting your sleep? Then another big thing is there a mental health condition? I often wake up in the middle of the night, and if my mind starts running away, sleep is over. I start thinking about all the things I need to do the next day. I start thinking about the things I should have done the day before. And so having a lifestyle medicine practice of progressive relaxation or mindfulness is so, so important for sleep. And then also having positive sleep thoughts. There's a whole, I don't even know where to start. We could spend an hour just talking about sleep, but knowing how rejuvenating sleep is, mind, body, and soul. If we are deprived of food for 30 days, there is very little that actually happens to our physiology that's bad. But if we are deprived of sleep for 30 days, we literally go mad. And some of it is not even reversible. So sleep is more important than food. And that's such a revolutionary thought, but thinking how important our sleep is, it's the time that God rejuvenates our body.
Right. I think God has put all those amazing things for us. They are available to everybody, regardless of their race, regardless of their age or geographical location. We can all use them in the best of our ability, and knowing that God has put them there because He cares for our health, He cares for our happiness. He wants us to achieve the greatest dreams He has put in our heart, or we have them in our souls, and we can live more productive life, enjoyable life, even if you're on a wheelchair, even if you're struggling right now from different conditions. There is a way of bettering your health, benefiting from it, and there is no better investment than investing in your health. We understood, especially with COVID, that health is wealth.
Yes. So
Dr.
true.
Margarita, it's so awesome having you here today. I learned so much from you, and I can't wait even, to go to California, Loma Linda, and just learn more about it so we can implement it in practice here in Guam. If somebody would like to know more about lifestyle medicine, come to our wellness center at the Guam SDA clinic. Dr. Ezwina has done some amazing materials, videos recording how we can benefit, and it is all to your avail. She has come all the way in order to help us in Guam to have a better life, longer life, and more enjoyable life. Thank you, Dr. Ezwina.
Thank you. It's been an honor and a privilege. And thank you all for just this amazing time that you've given me on Guam. And I have learned so much. And more than anything, I've been surrounded by love. So blessings to your whole community. And I wish you health and happiness.
Todo maulek.
Be sure to check with your doctors before making any sudden life changes discussed today. Total Health is brought to you in partnership with Guam Seventh-day Adventist Clinic, where health is their mission. We look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Thank you and Sijuas Masi for listening to Total Health right here on Joy FM.